Hey everybody, today we are going to talk about what country?
Germany.
So we're not in Germany, by the way. We're actually in Slovenia at the moment. But a few weeks ago we were in Germany and we got to meet up with a great guy, Scott.
Yeah,
He's,
with his daughter and his dog.
yes, and they are just starting an expat journey. They just left Louisiana. His daughter's about to start going to school and he started early retirement, and he's kind of doing a little combination of slow travel expat life
And
and
he's going to tell you exactly what it cost him and how he's doing it.
yeah, it's a pretty good story. And so stick around. And I just also want to point out before we start this video, we weren't expecting to see him in Germany. We happened to be in France in Strasbourg, and when we found out he was a little bit up the road, we went about an hour, went to visit with him for the day. So he showed us around, so we got to meet with him actually in person, which was really a treat. Really wonderful guy, and he's doing his own YouTube channel and Basic American Dad. So we're going to give him a plug here in today's video, and we want you to share your expat stories with us. We share our expenses, our experiences. We tell you how to get residency places. We do a lot of things to try to ease you into the slow travel expat life if that's what you're trying to do or thinking about doing. But we want you to share your stories. So if you're an expat, slow traveler, you want to share your experiences and expenses, make sure you email us at warrenjulietravel@gmail.com, and let's get some video going with you so we can share your part of the world.
Absolutely.
It wasn't expected, but we ended up meeting up with today's guest. So Scott is in Baden-Baden, and he's going to give you his story about his life and his situation here in Germany. And hopefully you'll learn a little bit. But it's great to actually get to meet you. When he did the video, we hadn't actually met yet.
Yes. Hi, Warren and Julie, and a big hello from Baden-Baden, Germany to your audience as well. I want to say thanks a bunch for the opportunity. It's truly an honor and privilege to be here with y'all. In a brief intro, I'm a single American dad to one daughter, and she not so jokingly calls me a basic dad, meaning typical. We have fantastic times together and have always traveled a lot. I'm a 56-year-old retired police lieutenant for over 6 years now, since I was 49, after 2 decades of service. And like you, I have some years of military service back in the day. I've always pursued other small businesses during and since serving, and squirreled away for a comfortable retirement. But I've daydreamed for decades about a life abroad. And my daughter was recently accepted to a UK grad school, and the pup and I just can't let her have all that fun by herself. So I'm on an odyssey too, helping her transition. Plus I'm test driving an expat life and loving it so far. Your channel and group has been very inspirational and educational, so I hope this contributes to that and helps others too. We've spent this summer, June, July, and August, mostly in Germany, with a little road tripping as we brought a car from the U.S. That transition, including a car and a dog, was very overwhelming. But even if it were just my daughter and I, it would still be a lot of work. So it's very wise to plan many months ahead with meticulous research. And lots of plan Bs and Cs, because stuff will pop up and go wrong. Specifically to costs, I won't go into transition costs because there are so many variables for everyone. And so our first month, June, was really an outlier. So looking at July, and again, this is in Baden-Baden or Southwest Germany. There are different places, of course, and that will have different living expenses. And this is for 2 adults. I left the dog out of these numbers, but I did convert to dollars, since I think most of your audience uses those. Now, July was closer to a normal month than we'll have for a while. We did not do distant traveling that month, just local and regional, and we were pretty settled in by then. Our groceries were $321, and our dining out was almost the same at $322. We really didn't ever pinch pennies or on our meals. We do look for value while we're enjoying experiences, though. We spent $120 on transportation. That's a little fuel for our car, a couple of train rides, and the local bus system. We've since discovered the Deutschland ticket, or D-ticket, and it covers local and regional systems of all types for only 49 euros a month per person. And we've really gotten our value out of that here in August. With that prepaid, we've felt that we've been able to freely venture out a lot more. Okay, our miscellaneous items were $280, and that would be household items, clothes, etc. Basically consumables or supplies that are not food. And then, of course, the big one, rent. I know this really varies on different factors, and we're in a short-term rental, of course, here. The long-term, as comparable long-term, about 50 square meter apartment runs about $1,500 a month. Some cities are more, but many cities in Germany are less. Also, as a short-term, utilities are included, but surely they're small and minimal. Overall, our July living abroad in what's called the somewhat expensive southwest German city here in Baden-Baden was just under $3,000. And that's for 2 people. So about $100 a day for the month for 2 people. And in all, that's considerably less expensive than our home city of New Orleans. I could ramble on for hours, literally, about the quality of life here versus much of the U.S. But how do you put a price tag on things such as quality of life, safety, happiness, or for us, temperature? Every day back home right now in Louisiana, highs are in the 90s, and here the highs have typically been in the 70s. So we actually get to go outside and enjoy life every day, and there's plenty to do out here. Stunningly beautiful, as you can see, and instead of being prisoners to air conditioning back home all summer long. So to me and us, and even our dog, that value has been priceless. Other things that I left out include insurance, because it's prepaid. For car insurance, I'm now getting an astonishingly low rate than back home, and that's for insane coverage, something like $7 million throughout all the countries of the EU and UK. For health insurance, since my back home company does not cover abroad, my daughter and I both got outstanding coverage from you, Warren, and that was prepaid for a long period of time, for me for a year, for my daughter for the whole summer until she gets established in school. I thankfully did not need to make any claims, but my daughter, who will be transitioning to the UK's NHS as a student, and I'll mention more about that in just a second, she had some pre-existing conditions that needed a few doctor's visits here, and your company fully reimbursed all of that, including prescriptions. That literally paid for itself and then some. So thanks a bunch for taking care of us with that. And I know that's a huge concern to all, or at least most of your viewers. So now that I mentioned that, as a student, she will be on the UK's NHS, National Health System. That begins when school does, so not right now. But when that starts in September, and I prepaid that for her entire term with her student visa, that comes out to $91 a month and no co-pays, etc. Back home, and the coverage that I've had on her since she was little, that I've been paying $300 a month just for her. So that's a significant savings that we're going to have once she gets on the UK's NHS. And that covers co-pays. I'm sorry, the $300 a month that I've been paying back home, that's plus co-pays, prescriptions, and so forth. And by the way, just one medication that she's needed here, which she was on back home as well. Back home, retail was $500 on that one medication, and that was a $40 copay on my insurance, which of course the difference gets worked back into our premiums. $500 back home, the same medication was literally $12 cash out the door here. No insurance, no copay, $12 for the same medication. And this is not an outlier. Now, I could ramble on and on about how Americans are being ripped off, perhaps in another episode, but I'll turn that subject back over to you, the expert. And but thanks again for covering us during this transition time.
That was fun. Thank you, Scott. that was a
It was a treat.
yeah, nice intro to you and your new life ahead, and best wishes to your daughter. As a reminder, we're traveling with our 2 dogs. We're trying to see what it's like to live in different places, different countries, sharing our experiences and expenses with you. We want you to subscribe, give the video a like. Don't forget to go join our Facebook group of other expats, nomads, or people that want to get in that lifestyle and learn from those experiences and ask your questions. And let's have one last word from Scott.
I'll say bis bald or see you soon from beautiful Germany, where we've had a summer well beyond our even high expectations. And I want to thank you all again for the opportunity and for the work that you do putting good info out to us all. And I know it's work since I started trying to do my own YouTube, and y'all make it look easy and do a fantastic job. But I know we all enjoy this stuff, or it wouldn't be worth doing. The idea of not only having a truly good and enjoyable life and living out our dreams, but also helping others too as well. It's a noble venture. So best wishes to everyone, and see you soon. Thanks again.